All right, guys, a little PSA, different topic today. Beware of ticket scams. I'm going to show you an example image. These videos are everywhere. They're going to be kind of tailored to your area, so the algorithm picks them up for yours. In this case, I'm in Colorado, so this one picked me up for Denver. Also, I watch a lot of Sleep Token content, so I'm sure that helped. I'm going to make my image a little bit smaller here so you can see. And as you can see there, this image is a little stretched. I fixed some others later on, but it's going to have some variation of this. Praying that a fan finds these, hoping a fan finds these, whatever it is. They always have 3 to 4 tickets, and that's because online purchases are limited to 4 tickets max in most venues. And they're always moving out of state, or they can't go, or something happened. And they always have the same, send me a DM on TikTok. Nowhere else, just start by sending a DM on TikTok. And these all have something in common. They'll have very limited info. I'm scooting back to kind of show you the image here, but they'll have very limited info in there, and the tags will be set, the location will be set. That's so it can pick you up. And then you'll notice that each one of these will have the text overlaying with a video behind it, but the video never has any of its original audio. The videos are stolen from somebody else's legitimate account. They're scanning TikTok accounts where people are either dancing, lip syncing, whatever. They're yanking those, and they're either taking the video in its entirety with that song, or if it's just somebody dancing, they'll overlay another song. And this text will stay on there the entirety of the video is what it'll do. When you view the profile, it'll appear to have a correct name. Notice the lady's here is blonde. We've got a different picture up there in the profile picture. That's not really coincidence. They're stealing the image from whatever other profile. So most likely the profile picture and the name it's showing are to mock another profile. They've stolen a popular account's information. Sometimes they're verified accounts. This has been seen a few times. I've seen it. And they'll have the same, like probably a Taylor Swift fan or whatever, to mock the other account to make it look almost the same. They always have one follower, which I'm assuming is a handler for the account of some sort. Or they're always following one, sorry. And they have like 10 followers, a few followers, people following for that, and they get a few likes. They don't really care if the account blows up. They're just trying to offload what appears to be tickets, but they're not actually tickets. So on this particular one, I took the bait to kind of figure out what I could. I could only go so far because I don't have a way to do fake text messages yet. I'm working on that so I can delve in these a little bit deeper, but I know how a lot of these go. So I asked, how much for the ticks? And then it goes on. They said, hello, I've got 3 tickets. They tell you where they're at. They want 180 each. They're taking a cut on the tickets, even though they're not. These are not real tickets. You're not getting tickets. So it was like $200 to $300 for tickets to the Sleep Token concert. And they're saying 180. Oh man, what a great deal. I got to get these tickets. So it doesn't matter what row or section it's in. It's probably going to match whatever fake documentation they have. I was like, how do I pay? Also, how are the tickets delivered? They don't answer that. They're going to ignore that. If you ask them those questions, they're going to ignore them every single time. I did this with a few other accounts too. And so how many tickets do you want to purchase? And I put, can I do 2? And then they say, yes. Are you the one paying for the tickets? I put yes. They want to make sure you're the one they've got on the hook. They don't want somebody. And then, again, can I do 2? Yes, yes. Do you have the money to get the tickets now? I put yes. What's your number so I can send you proof of tickets? They're immediately going to send you proof because that's going to disarm many people from thinking that it's fake. Because if it was fake, why would they send you proof of the tickets? Why would they do that? Keep in mind, most tickets are non-transferable, especially if they have proof like this. And most of these are not going to be paper tickets. They're going to be claiming to send you a digital transfer, which is not something you can do. It's going to get flagged as a scam. So even if you could purchase these digital tickets, it's not going to happen. You're going to get flagged at the box office. People have reported that. And you can say, can you send here? And then they were like, no, that's why I asked for your number. The part I didn't get is they said they couldn't send through TikTok. TikTok doesn't allow sending of that. There are ways they could send through, but whatever. This is the point where they really want to push you into text messaging, and there's a reason for that. They want it in text messaging because then TikTok can't take action on their account because technically nothing that's been done here is illegal or wrong. So TikTok will not accept any reports or scams or fraud because they haven't done anything. They're just conversating. They sent you a message, you accepted the message, and I went, what about email? And they said, sorry, I'm private with my number. Like, no, we can also text through there, or I can give you my number. They sent me a number. They claim to be moving someplace else on their thing there. the number went to like Massachusetts is where the area code was, but they said they had lived in Denver and they were moving. I mean, yeah, you could like take the really shallow brain approach and go, maybe they just kept their number from that area. I doubt it. They're going to be throwaway numbers. They're going to be using fake throwaway numbers to scam you. They will pay for text relay services. I'm looking into having something like that to go after scammers, but I'm not one of those people who hunts down scammers, so the cost doesn't really justify it for me. But anyway, they said, text me. I said, all right, looks like I'm out, because I couldn't go any further with that. So what happens from here is they're generally going to try to get you to pay them first through Venmo, PayPal, or not PayPal, Venmo or Cash App. They don't use PayPal anymore because PayPal will cancel and refund the money. They'll lose the money. Venmo, Cash App are not as stringent on that, and they're a little behind in those, so that's why they're going to use those. Or they'll have some weird payment system you've never even heard of before, or they'll ask for a wire, a cash wire via like Wells Fargo or something. That's the other common one. They want you in text so it's not trackable to many places. Because the number's a throwaway number, they know that it's hard to track. If they do it through TikTok, it can be tracked. It will be tracked down to an area of some sort, because a lot of them are not very good about masking themselves that way, because they have to create the TikTok account. It'll be harder. You'll have a more difficult time. Also, they can pop these accounts up left and right. They're all over. So, but don't buy tickets this way. You're not going to get tickets. You're going to lose money, and then they're going to disappear, and you're going to be stuck with not much you can do. There's very little you can do to get that money back, except for try to get a chargeback on whatever payment method you used. And again, if it's Venmo, Cash App, you're going to be hard pressed to get a chargeback. Those are very difficult to work with. Can it be done? Yes. Is it successful most of the time? No, it's not, and that's why they like these. That's why a lot of scams these days are still Venmo, Cash App, and then the old standard Wells Fargo wire transfer. So avoid those. They should be able to be, if it's somebody legitimately selling tickets, it's going to have to be something you know is going to be legitimate, and it's going to have to be through a payment processor that is legitimate. And again, please keep in mind, if you read the terms in like Ticketmaster, StubHub, those places, they don't allow resale of tickets. If you bought them, you can get credit or a refund through those platforms. You cannot transfer the tickets. It does not work that way. So if anything, the way that a transfer of tickets would happen is you would get a refund on your tickets. Ticketmaster, your StubHub, etc., the legitimate places would get those tickets back, and then they would sell them through their platform again. That's how that would work. This is not how any of this works. So this is a scam. If I've missed anything or you have questions, let me know. I'd be glad to help on this. What can you do? Every time one of these comes across your feed, report the accounts for fraud and scam. Once it gets enough reports, TikTok will start removing them, and then TikTok's backend AI algorithm should start picking up that these are scam accounts and getting rid of them. I was not able to find matching users for these, so I don't know what it looks like. Make sure that after you report them, you block them. Just block them.